The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello and welcome to the More Clients from Your Law Firm website webinar. If I can just check if you can hear me, if you can raise your hand on the GoToWebinar taskbar, that will let me know that you're there. If someone could do that, that would be much appreciated. Rasab, I can see you there. Can you find the taskbar and raise your hand? Then I will be able to begin. Anyone else? If you can raise your hand, do go ahead and please do so. Okay, great. Looks like we're up and running. Thank you, Rasab. Thank you. That's great. Thank you all for doing that. Right, let's crack on. So the purpose of today is to find out how to get more clients from your website. And I have been sent in a couple of websites to look at, but I'm just going to go through the first few parts and we'll take it from there. The most important thing I'd say about this is nothing frustrates me more when I get people coming back to me and saying, well, Nick, someone thinks I should do this, and my friend says this, and my web designer says this. What I tell you, what I share with you is based on the fact that I spent over £250,000 of my own money promoting legal services. I manage the spend online, currently an annualized spend of over £1.5 million a year, and in the past that's been pretty consistent. So I've managed the spend of millions online. What I share with you today is what is proven to work, not what I think might work, not what I hope might work, but what actually does work. So I talk about how you get more inquiries, how you get more clients from those inquiries, and how you get more of both of the above. And the way I like to do it is by making your life as easy as possible. So the reason why this is so important is because there are 10,415 law firms, so you've got 10,414 competitors, but that doesn't take into account all the consultant solicitors who are sort of popping up as their own firms now, and doesn't take into account non-solicitor competitors, of which there's a growing number. So there's a real need to get good at marketing, to get consistent at marketing, to make sure that you protect your market share. And I have no doubt if you do it well, you will have as much work as you want and need. If you don't put in place systems to generate clients on a consistent basis, you will struggle. And it still never ceases to amaze me how many solicitors fighting this, they're losing their market share, but they don't want to do anything about it because they think the good old days will be back soon. Unfortunately, it's changed for good. A couple of things to mention that make a big difference to everything you do. The first one is Umudi Tom, as I call it, which was summarized when I used to work with someone, and they'd go off to court and they'd come back and they'd say, Nick, I had a great day at court today. I was brilliant. I achieved this. The judge loved everything I said. I was just amazing, marvelous. Anyway, enough about me. Nick, what do you think of me? And that can be a mistake that's often made by solicitors in all of their marketing, but particularly on the website, when the website talks all about the solicitor, all about the firm, all about when they're established, without telling the client why this makes them the right choice for that client at that particular moment in time. So you have to be really careful and make sure you're not making that mistake. Check that you're not just saying we were formed in 1832 without referencing what that means to your client, which means we've got a lot of experience. We'll use that to your advantage. We'll do things quickly. We'll be much better. So don't ever sort of just say what you are, say how it helps your clients, talk about the benefits to your client of your service. Let's look at how you can get more inquiries. So the first one is, what is it you do? And this might sound obvious, you're a solicitor. You know that, I know that, but it never ceases to amaze me again how many solicitors fail to actually mention what they do on their website. So here's a big Bristol firm, just had a look at their website and doesn't mention that they're actually solicitors, briefly mentions they're a law firm further down, but if you're a solicitor, you should proudly display that right below your logo. It's really important. It's really simple, but your clients are looking for a solicitor, so that's crucial that you tell them that you're there. Next thing is, what is it you want me to do? Once I've got to your website, if you've done the bits right that allow me to get to your website, I like what I read, the next biggest mistake is failing to tell me what you actually want me to do at the end of every page. So if I like everything, but you don't tell me to phone you, particularly with mobile sites being around 60 or 70% of traffic now, making sure that you link your phone number so that if someone's on a mobile, they can just click it and away they go. You link to an inquiry form, you link to your email address, making it as easy as possible. If you fail to do that, you will lose clients. So Here's an example where the website just finishes but doesn't tell someone what to do. You've got to tell people what to do to actually get in touch with you. If you don't do that on every page of your website, because most people will only look at your website, 1 or 2 pages on your website, so you need to tell them at the bottom of every single page, make a free inquiry. Call us on this number, email us, or complete a free inquiry form. And I always get asked about the free inquiry point. People are still worried about solicitors charging them for the minute they speak with them. The inquiry is free. You're not saying that the advice is free. The inquiry is free to speak with you, pick up the phone, have a chat, explore their issue, explain how you can help them, then explain what your cost would be. It's not about a free service, it's a free inquiry. The next thing that you must do, bearing in mind what I said, that most people will only look at 1 or 2 pages. I think the average is about 1.6 across most of the sites that I see. And they'll spend, it used to be 2 minutes, but now it's about 90 seconds on a site. You've got to convey a lot of information in a short period of time to make sure that they believe you are the best lawyer, that you're the lawyer to be trusted with their instruction. And there's 2 ways of doing this: depth of expertise and proof of expertise. So there must be enough content on every page of your website to prove that you're an expert, and there must be enough pages within each area of law that you offer to prove that you're an expert. If you only have 2 or 3 paragraphs and you only have 1 page about your main service, it's almost impossible for me to believe that you're an expert. And I can't tell you, again, the number of firms that say to you, oh, we're not putting too much content, no one reads it anyway. Well, the major problem with that is if you don't have at least 400 words on every page, Google has no idea what your website's about, so no one will ever find it. And if you fail to explain to your clients why you're the right firm for them, they won't get in touch with you. So it's not just me saying this. There's a reason why it's so important that you have enough content on your page for Google and for your human visitors to know what you do and to believe that you are experts, because that's what they're looking for. They're not looking for generalists, they're looking for experts. The next side is proof of expertise. And that's external endorsements of qualifications, testimonials, and the all relates to reviews, because Amazon and the rest of the world are talking about reviews. That's what we should be using too now. Press coverage, books and articles published, volume helped. Again, what you're trying to convey here is that you are an expert in this area of law and that clients should be choosing you for these services. So you've only got, remember, 90 seconds, 2 pages to do this. So if you think, well, they'll go off and they'll read my reviews on the review pages, wrong, they won't. If you think they'll go off and they'll find my qualifications page, they won't. This information needs to be available on every page. And in the website lead generation system, which I go into more detail, I explain exactly all of these points and how you cover them, and have a template for you to copy and follow. And I'll show you how you can access that later. So these sorts of things are great. Having this information at the bottom of the page. What you must never do, though, is then link away to Legal 500 or Chambers, because that allows them then to go off and find another solicitor apart from you, and so often that mistake is made too. Once you've got someone on your website, you do not want to send them away. So you must make sure that any links are just to other parts of your website, not to sites where they can find other solicitors. The next point is you've got to actually sell me onto your website. Now, when you do a search result, you probably don't think about this, but all of the results that you find are advertisements for you to try and click on. So if you Google legal marketing services, you'll find my results here, and this title tag is taken from my website, and this wording here is taken from my website. 2 things you'll notice: I use leading capitals, and I am trying to sell you onto my site to read it, because I'm competing against other people. And what I find fascinating is there seem to be a load of legal marketing experts springing up now. There were probably 1 or 2 of us when I started, but now there's all sorts of people claiming to be experts in legal marketing. Generally, if you look below the surface, you'll see they're experts also in accountancy marketing and some of the other marketing. And so, it's not always what it seems, but I find it amusing. I've been here since 2003. So that's why when you Google me, you'll find me. But the reason you'll find me is because I know how to not manipulate Google, because you can't, because it's too clever, but to make the most of Google's tools. So what's important is have a look and see how your site is displayed in the search results. Are you using leading capitals? Have you got a title tag and description tag which gets someone to click through to your website? So often the mistake made is that every page just has the firm's name on it. Now, the only page where you should target your firm's name is the home page. But on other pages, you should be targeting the service you're offered. So if it's employment law, the title would be employment law solicitor, and then followed by your town name, say Reading. Then you say, need an employment law solicitor, click here to make a free inquiry and find out about our employment law services. So check your title tags and description tags. If you don't know how to find them, if you right click on a website page, not on an image, but on any of your pages, and then click view source, you will see your title tag and description tag, and you can see if they need improving. If they can, you can get in touch with your web designer and make sure that they're doing as much as they can to get people to your website. So if you're doing that and you want to find out how to get to the top of Google for more search terms, one of the best things you need to do is look in your Google Analytics. And if you get stuck on this, email me. But look in your analytics, go to client acquisition and then search console and search queries, and you'll see what people are already typing in, which is triggering your site to be displayed in the search engines. Now you might find that you're in position 500, but it shows you what people are actually typing into Google, real people typing in to find solicitors. It will give you lots of ideas for writing new content, for improving your current content, and for making sure that every page on your website is targeted with the sole aim, which it should be, of getting someone to click and come through to your website. So make sure that that's the case, and that you are using your tools, your analytics, to find out what people are typing and make sure each page is targeted to get more people to your website. If you don't have this, you'll upset a lot of visitors to your website. And it's an inquiry form. If you don't have an inquiry form, it's easy to find, easy to complete. Then some people will not fill in the inquiry form. Now, interestingly, I say 60% because that's what it used to be. The figures are changing with more people accessing your site via mobile. A lot more are phoning now because it's easier than typing details into a small inquiry form. So it is changing, and that's fascinating. But still, people on desktop, a lot of them will prefer to fill in the inquiry form and let you come back to them rather than them making the first call. So if you haven't got an inquiry form, you are missing out. If you want an instant inquiry form, then I created some software called Your Website Genie, which does just that. It becomes an instant inquiry form on your website, and for £20 a month, you can have it up and running within an hour. So it's a very simple piece of software. If you'd like more details, let me know. Once you've got that inquiry form, make sure it's available on every page of your website. So now you've got it, flaunt it. The reason I've got an Amazon button there is because Amazon knows where people want to go when they want to take action. That's why their Buy Now button is on the right-hand side of their screen and is easy to get to. And what you'll notice also about Amazon, people are fixated with these infinity scrolling websites where everything's on one page. You go down and down and down and down. Is Amazon doing that? No, of course they're not, because they know it doesn't work. The only people that like that are website designers, because it's different and it's funky and it's fun. Does it work for solicitors? No, it doesn't. But web designers will still sell it to you, and then you'll be back in 6 months asking for a new website. If you want a good website, a simple one, a cost-effective one, then get in touch with me, because it is something that I am now offering. But as I say, once you've got it, flaunt it. You've got to have access to that inquiry form on every page. So out on the right-hand side of the page and at the bottom of the page. And you might say, well, if it's on the right-hand side, I don't need it. Well, I can tell you from experience of this site that yes, you do, because even though it's on every page, people still click that button and complete the inquiry form from a separate page just because they want to be told what to do, where to go, how to do it. As I said at the beginning, you've got to tell people what you want them to do at the end of every page. If you don't do that, you are missing huge opportunities. Next point, you are how cheap. Never put your prices on your website. If you do, you stop being called, and instead you become a price comparison site. And the last thing you want to do when selling legal services is be a price comparison site, because as soon as you put your price there, I can phone your competitor. I don't even speak with you. You don't get a chance of my instruction because I've gone elsewhere. And I was speaking to someone who employs legal solicitors for business purposes a lot, and he said he's getting a lot of the solicitors a price comparison. They're prepared to drop prices to please, and there's no way, if you're doing your marketing well, you don't need to drop your prices. If you're doing it badly, then absolutely you do. So it's all about doing good marketing. Don't put your prices on your website. Let me have a look at the website I was asked to review now. And I like the layout, follows the advised layout, I'd say. Got a title, we know what we do here. A couple of things that I do is I didn't think that was linked because it's not showing up. So I put that in bold because I can see it is linked now. And I put that in bold, and then you notice that it's linked. Bit shorter content on this page. There's not a review box on the right hand side or a why choose this box, and again link that so I can see it's linked. If I go into immigration services, what I would have under there is navigation, so I can see these are all new pages. Again, I'd bold them so I can see they're linked because it doesn't look like they are, and then have them as a sub navigation popping out underneath. Then, of course, we're missing a call to action at the bottom of the page. And again, you could say, well, it's on the left, but you've got to tell me what to do. Otherwise, I don't know what to do. So let's go into one of these pages. More content, much better. Again, no call to action. So missing out on the really important parts. Don't know what to do because you don't say, tell me what to do, and don't assume that I will. I put some imagery in there because it gives you a chance of telling Google what the page is about. And say calls to action at the bottom, but good use of bullet points, subheadings, that breaks up the content. So those that don't want to read lots of content can skip around, but definitely needs the call to action. Now let's do the fees test. Brilliant, we can work on a fixed fee, no mention of the actual fee, that's fine. Again, put these in bold so that it stands out much better. So overall, very good. Logo, says we're solicitors, we've got a telephone number, we've got the inquiry all visible. Everything looks pretty good there. More content on the pages and calls to action, and that should work a lot better. So a very good start, nice and clean as well. Looks like a WordPress site, which is the way to go. And as I say, if you need a WordPress site, let me know. So how do you get more inquiries on your website? So let me just sort of remind people about this, because the whole point of your website is just to get people on the phone with you, to put their hands up and say, yes, they're interested in your services. The whole point of your website is not to sell the entire service. And so many times I see people saying, if you want to instruct us, you have to fill in this Word document and post it to. That's not going to happen. It's just selling the first contact with you that's crucial here. That's all you're looking to do. Once you get people phoning you, the next problem often is that you don't make it easy for them to get in touch with you. So they phone you and it goes to reception. If you're a larger firm, it gets diverted from reception because they don't answer to its secretaries who don't answer. You've spent all this money generating an inquiry and they can't get through to you. They disappear. So my advice, strong advice, is outsource to a call center. They handle your initial inquiry. They can do a live transfer, so you still get the call transferred to you. But they don't miss telephone calls, because so many firms lose business because the client phones, doesn't get dealt with quickly, disappears, goes elsewhere, goes to competition. Next big areas where you can get more clients is follow up. Once you've spoken to a client, then you have to follow up to ask them for the instruction. If you don't, you'll lose business. And I've got a full procedure to follow in Marketing for Solicitors, which I'll tell you about briefly. Which I call the Meaningful Conversation Blueprint. The Client Conversion Blueprint shows you how to do this whole process, including standard letters and emails, to get more inquiries from the people already contacting you. So it's one of it's the cheapest way to get more work without spending money on marketing, because you convert the inquiries much better. How to get more inquiries and more clients? Your hourly rate is hopefully one of those. Your outsourced suppliers rate is probably between that, so don't DIY when you can have it done for you. So many times I find solicitors say, I'm just going to update my website, but I haven't had time, so 3 months gone past, 6 months. Don't update your website, get someone to do that for you. Same with your AdWords management, outsource, whether it's to me or other people, but you shouldn't be doing your own marketing. You should be running your business and making sure your fees are going up month on month. If you do need a new website, as I say, I can help, but whether you're using me or not, the important thing is to follow this process. When you get your new website, don't change the content. Get the new design, get that live with the current content, then work on improving the content, because the thing that will derail your project is trying to do it all at once. It won't work. So that's the process that I recommend you follow. So I've given you some really quick fire things here, but they all work. I'll be sending you a link to this recording so you can watch it back. What I suggest is you do watch it back and use it as a checklist for things to improve on your website, to get more inquiries, get more clients from the inquiries, people contacting you, and to get people doing your marketing for you. I said earlier that I've got the Marketing for Solicitors membership service. This has everything you need to know to get your marketing working really well for you and to get more clients coming through your door. One of the most important things is the blueprint I mentioned. The More Clients blueprint, the Meaningful Conversation blueprint, shows you step by step how to have a conversation with new clients, prospects, how to follow up, how to email precedent letter and an email to follow up, and then how to follow up to get more clients from people already contacting you. And that blueprint alone has trebled people's profits month on month by following and implementing what is advised in there. So I've had more than one client treble their conversion rates, which means they get 3 times the clients they were getting without any extra expense. So the website lead generation system goes into much more detail of the stuff I've skimmed over today in the short period we've got time together. And that's 4 training methods, 4 training webinars, each an hour long, going into much more detail about how to make your website work. Goes into the detail of analytics more, goes into some other software and tools that you can use to make your website work harder. There's precedents in there, and you get access to ask me questions in the printed Marketing for Solicitors newsletter, which comes out 10 times a year. And if you go for the premium version, you get access to email support from me, critiques of your marketing, and a quarterly one-on-one call where I check that you're doing everything you should be doing to grow your business. The costs are, I think, nominal. And the reason I've always kept the costs low is I expect Marketing for Solicitors to, if you take action and implement the advice I give you, you'll cover the year's membership in the first month, and then every month after that is free. And I'll give you even more tools, even more resources. You'll get a 10 to 100 times return on investment if you follow the advice, like anything. If you do nothing with it, it won't change. But if you implement what I tell you, you will get dramatic results. You will get more clients. You won't have to spend a fortune to do it. And your life will be a lot more fun. And I'm all about the fun. Because we've only have a certain amount of time on this planet. So get your marketing right, get enough clients coming through the door, then enjoy your time with your friends, your family, whatever it is you like to do. If you get your marketing right, get it outsourced and automated, you can do that. That's what I'm all about, and that's what I will bang on about until I'm blue in the face. If you join me in Marketing for Solicitors, there's some nice things that people have said about Marketing for Solicitors, which I can let you watch on the replay. But if you want to join me, go to marketingforsolicitors.co.uk, click the Join Now button, and I'm glad to see you on the other side and help you even more to grow your practice. If you have any questions, I've got a couple of minutes so I can take questions, but if not, all I'd like to say is thank you for your time today. There's Marketing for Solicitors site. Thank you for your time today. If you think of anything afterwards that I haven't covered, that you'd like covered, then simply just send me an email in response to any of the points that I've raised. Anything you're not sure about, I will gladly answer that for you. There's a phone number there as well. You can book yourself in for a chat with me if you'd like through my PA, Christelle. She's very friendly, or you can email me there. But hopefully today's been helpful. If it is, then please do let me know on the feedback form that you'll get after you exit the webinar. And I look forward to working with you or hearing from you in the future. All the best.